Hi everybody, this is Dawn with Scrapbook Stage. I hope you guys are doing well today. I wanted to follow up regarding the Kara Brandon organize your craft room process, and one of the things that have helped me get more organized is organizing by seasons. And I've actually made a seasons journal here out of my blue fabrics and papers and stuff like that. And I thought I'd share that with you and then show you a couple pieces of a couple bins that I will organize really quick with you after the fact. So let me do a quick flip through and then I'll organize my spring and summer and winter and fall wallpaper scraps. So you guys can see that because it's always fun to have that eye candy to look at, right? So go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and I'll do a quick flip through of this journal, and it will be available in my shop once I load the video. I hope you guys are having a great day. So one of the things that Kara was talking about is sorting things. And I know a lot of people sort by color. I used to sort by color a lot, and I still do. I will probably organize my spring and summer bins by color. And then I will also show you my little scrap bins that I showed you guys last week. I've been doing some work of just scrapping through my, crafting through my scraps and through those seasonal bins. And I've gotten a lot of ephemera done that I hope to either use or get in my shop by the end of the month. So that has been sort of my process. I'm trying to be on task in different sections, and I want to craft and organize at the same time. So I'm crafting through my organization or organizing as I craft. I don't know. But anyways, so it was Christmas and I had some goals to work on some blue Christmas journals. A friend ordered one and I got that sent off to her. And I had a couple journals that were all organized that I hadn't made in time for Christmas. So I got, and they were more winter journals and they were really, really Christmas journals. So you'll see what that looks like. So sometimes we have a project and we want to get it done. We may not get it done in time. And I think this is a good way to sort of manage that. So if you craft by seasons, you don't necessarily have to start at the beginning of the book, or you can save it for next year. So depending on, you can start a seasonal journal in spring or in summer, depending on how your lifestyle is, or, you know, people think, live their lives, the beginning, either your business, maybe it's summertime because that's the fiscal year end. So you make yourself a budget journal. Or maybe it is January through December because you sort of follow the new year. Or maybe it's you're a teacher and it's a school year schedule. Or for us, summertime's really busy for my husband. So summer through Christmas is a busy time, and our downtime is more winter through spring. So if you have two signatures in a journal, you might think that way as well. So anyways, that is sort of my thought process as far as you're sorting through things, think about how you're sorting through time as well, and how you can plan your crafting or your organization around the things that make sense for you. So even though it's springtime right now, I've organized a lot of my summer stuff so that I can start making summer items and make them available in spring so you guys can have them in the summer. That's my plan. We'll see how well I stick to it this year. You guys can critique me next year this time when we're talking about how do we do. So anyways, here is me catching up. So I made this really, really fun patchwork journal. I had a lot of these upholstery pieces of fabric. I had them for sale in the shop for a while and they weren't selling. And I just decided, okay, how can I recreate these? So a lot of times that's sort of the process that I use. I really like the scrappy part about being a junk journaler. So I like taking the things that nobody loves and recreating it in a way that is fun to use. So this is upside down. So I have used some scrapbook paper that I had in my stash, and here's some more upholstery fabric that I just put together. I have, this is Carolyn's Craft Tree Blue Azure kit, and I thought it went really well for sort of the winter, you know, the January, February seasons. We're sort of home, working on crafting projects, organizing things, dreaming of spring. So this set went really well together. I love the lined pages, and it sort of works with that blue theme. And so when I was pulling this together, I went through my scrapbook papers and grabbed some blue items and through my digital kits as well. So this would be a great project to do, like you do a color challenge. It's a quick way to get through things. It's like, oh, this is, do you guys craft your favorite things or your not favorite things? Like I almost craft my not favorite things first to get them out of the way so that I can play with the fun things later. Not that they're not beautiful. I just know what I love. I'm all pinks and yellows and springtime colors. And so using blues is sort of a challenge for me, but there's so many beautiful blue digital kits out there. This is from Lindsay Zenor. This is parchment paper. This was just something I created in my scrapbook program on the computer. So I kept this sort of simple. I'm sort of torn between embellishing this a little bit more in the front or letting people write or, you know, do their own embellishments. I sort of go back and forth on that because I have it more embellished in the back. So, but I think it functions fine. I think it does pretty well. And then, so then we go into, so that was sort of the winter as far as January, February theme. And then now we're getting into springs, starting pulling more florals, getting towards summertime, outdoor activities, sort of the balloon writing. This is my aviation kit at Scrapbook Stage on Etsy. I went through and stamped some paper that I had, and again, so this is you see me pulling the blue paper that I had. This is Lindsay Zenor. Lindsay Zenor has a couple of blue kits. This is my teal garden. And then I had some blue fabrics that were not necessarily, there weren't a lot of Christmas themes in them. But since it's all a blue book, I thought it was fine to just sort of put it all the way through the journal. So there's different ways to sort of unify a journal, whether it's by color or by theme. So you see we're getting through the summer and then we're starting towards fall. Lindsay had this great kit, Lindsay Zenor had this great kit with the gold in it. So just check out all her blue kits because I think I used them all. And then she had this autumn kit. So this is sort of moving us into summer. It's not quite as blue as the other journals, but it sort of carries you through that sort of family feel. Those blues with the gold sort of work into that, where you could put pictures of family and back to school, football events and stuff like that. I thought would be fun. The school paper there was sort of cute. And then this was one of the journals that I had planned to make and get in the shop before Christmas, and I didn't quite get there. So I went ahead and put it in here. So then it is, I believe this kit is from California Expressions, this kit here. Can't remember off the top of my head. I had some magazine pages, some book pages. Lindsay has a winter page there. There is the winter one. So I thought that worked out really well, and there's a few pieces of ephemera. So that is a great way to craft through your stash, right? So if you want to, you can do a pink journal that gets you through the year, or you can just do a seasonal one. So I'll just do a spring one in pinks and purples, or if you don't have a specific theme that you want to go through. And I find that pretty helpful. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys that I was really excited about, I stashed through my scrap box this yesterday. I craft for quite a bit, but one way that I work through organizing my craft room is I have things that I like to use up, whether it's a book or a crafting through a box or crafting through what else? Oh, I have a lot of upholstery fabric that are sort of bound in like upholstery books. And so yesterday I took some of my digitals I'd printed up and had cut out, but they were on regular paper and they need to be built up a little bit. And I found 2 of these photograph books from an estate sale, and I used the black paper as bases. I don't have a lot of black scrapbook paper. I had always went through all that when I did cards and stuff. So I found these and I thought that would be a good use because I knew I wouldn't use it. And there goes my coffee dyed paper, and I think I can turn that off. I'll be right back. So I'm coffee dyeing paper too. So anyways, yesterday I was so proud of myself. I went through this whole book and backed a whole bunch of items, and I will show you what that looks like. And I'm really excited about it. So I have that. And then I also had, okay, this is my biggest mess right here. So I also have a book that had a lot of whites and tans of this upholstery fabric. And I had taken it out of the book, and I'm just storing my my extra upholstery fabric that I haven't had a place for yet, or I want to work on in here. This is sort of my throw it in there till I get to stash. So this is probably this is a project I work on, or I know I want to work on these items so I can throw in here and have the freedom of not being totally organized. So I'm organized by my storage, and this works for me. So if this starts getting too full, or I need to put these back where I keep the rest of my fabric until I'm ready to work on fall things, that might be an option. But I might want to work on fall things so that I'm ready to get it in my shop come June or July. So I keep a little bit of everything in here, so I'm working on the seasons throughout the year. Okay, so I wanted to show you some of the things I got to work on yesterday using that upholstery fabric. Aren't these cute? So I used the black paper, and I made, and there's the back. They're not perfect, but I made these little vintage women stamps, and I thought they turned out really good. They sort of feel like chenille is in there. And they just turned out really, really cute. I will be making a spring sort of aqua colored fashion journal. So as I worked through everything yesterday, I was able to pull all my teals out, and I had printed up, I had extra prints from Carolyn's Craft Tree. And, whoops. And so I have all my teal items in here, and this is going to be a journal. I'll be able to put a journal together really quick. So this is something I hope to get done this week, if not early next week. Because I'm still pulling things out for Dear Julie's challenge for the month as well. So I have a box over there that will be more of spring journal from everything. So I have these, welcome to my spring and summer wallpaper scrap stash. I have other wallpaper available in bigger pieces, but a lot of this are sort of cut-offs from pieces that I've used before. So whenever I'm working on something and it's this big and I know it is summer or spring, I will just throw it in here. And this will allow me to make different kits for you guys or me for the shop. It's not super organized, and I don't know that I'm going to organize it totally with you guys right now. I just wanted to sort of show you guys what I have here and things that I do. So whenever my husband finishes his Pepsi box, I just grab it and cut down my edges and my covers to the size that I want. And I have those available. So this got thrown in there. I have another place for it, but I just grabbed the wrong drawer, I think, when I was organizing. So as I work and process things, I have a place to put things. So everything in here is pretty much spring themed. And so if I want to make some Franken pages or add things to a journal, I've got it in here, and I have plenty of space to work with it. So I still have a long ways to go before this is full. And I might work on a project. It might be extra big. It doesn't fit into my little totes. Then I might just throw it in here to keep it safe. And I know it will be available for me to use later. So if I work on a beach journal, this might be available to pop in there. So that is my spring and summer colors, I think. And then I was talking about working through blues. So I'm trying to get little kits together for you guys in both my upholstery fabrics and wallpapers. So more of that to come. But I said in here because it was winter, it's my fall and winter ones. Because I have room, I do put them together. I don't have a lot of winter items in here. It's mainly, it reminds me mostly of fall. But the whites and stuff can be winter, and they're neutral enough that they can be used either way. So that's how I organize my wallpaper scraps. And so I have 2 seasons shared by both of those seasons. Since I'm grabbing things out of my storage bin behind me, it's, I'll show you. Oh, I did my spring one. Okay, since I'm grabbing things out, I had emptied this bin. It was full of the cardboard that I was talking about, that I cut down to make into journal covers. Now, I have a question for you guys. Leave your comment below. I've been following just current events a lot lately, and I want to start journaling about them, but I'm not quite sure how people feel about that because they're little hot topics. So we'll see how we go about that. But this is sort of my current event, collection. So as I come across things that make me think of what's happening in the world, I have this crazy stash of things that I'm really looking forward to journaling. And it sort of reminds me of jumping down a rabbit hole and the Alice in Wonderland theme. So as I was coordinating all my blues, I made this journal cover, and it sort of came off with that same, I was using those same blue things. So there might be a theme or a project that you want to work on. And it's a good way to use up those scraps. Like, okay, what project do I really want? And what are the things I love? I loved this upholstery fabric, and I wanted to use it for something special. So this was sitting on my bookshelf, and I was just shoving things in it. But I was able to make room for this to have a home now. So whenever I come across something, I can start throwing things in there for that. And My other bin for that storage is my Sentry box. So as I tear apart books and or different things, I want to eventually have like old papers from different decades. So I've started this process last year. I haven't gone a whole lot further, but I've organized. I want to put the year on here. So like this might be 1900. This might be 1910. This might be 1920, 1930. And as I get the book covers like this, and I have extra pages, I can look to see. It's like, okay, so this was published in 1958. So I will put this piece into the 1950s. So if I end up starting making paper kits from either different decades or do century kits, I'll have items to pull from. So that's sort of an idea that I had last year. I still haven't brought it to fruition, but that's one of the projects that I have started and I'm working towards. So I thought it'd be fun to share sort of that concept too. So if you're working in seasons or timelines, that might be a way for you to organize your things. And then I'll just show you the other two things. This is my box for packaging. And my biggest challenge as a crafter and an Etsy shop owner is getting things photographed and put into the Etsy shop. And so I'm hoping that as I get a little bit more organized and I have things available for you guys, I will be able to do that. But this is sort of my bin where I'm building up kits for you guys, and then I just need to photograph it and get it into the shop. So that's what I do with this last bin here, will be things that are not quite ready to go into the shop, but I'm working towards getting them into the shop. So if there's any colors or themes that you want, perhaps I have them and I can get them to you soon. But that is my biggest challenge. So hopefully by the end of the month, I will have, if I'm saying it, maybe I'll do it. I'll have most of these in the shop for you guys available to get. So that's what I am working on, as well as we're crafting through the seasons. So I am going to grab my 4 boxes so you can see the progress that I made on them, because it's pretty significant. So give me a moment while I grab those. Okay. So yesterday I did a lot of crafting, and most of my work was in this journal here. Here is my December section, and you guys have seen most of this. Yesterday I went through and I'll just grab these out. I had that black paper and I had some of this paper, so I just did that as a background. I might go back later and put writable things here, unless these are glued down as pockets and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my winter one. This morning I worked on my spring one. I pretty much have a purple journal I want to finish up. A whimsical, like, carnival fun spring journal is my next one. And then I have the floral, like the pretty florals. And then I might have a Victorian one in here. And more of a carefree spring journal. So here are some other things I worked on yesterday. Just finishing up the little projects. So my goal was to get from scraps to usable ephemera. I feel like these are really close to being usable ephemera. And then here's my summer one. And there is an aeronautical, a horse and cat farm one, a nautical one, red, white, and blue, and just some more playful summer themes like working on houses and stuff like that. So that's how I have my summer organized, and those will probably be journals that I'll be working towards. And then this is sort of my pride and joy from yesterday. So I literally took like every scrap that I had and sewed yesterday, so much. So anything that I cut off from the projects that you've seen me make, I made into little itty bitties as well. So where do I start? So yesterday, this is fun. So yesterday, some of these had backs already, but I did all the black backs to these. So these will be great journal covers and or pockets. So this is what I got to work on yesterday. So I was just crafting through my mess, organizing. So I was doing my fall. I was sorting by fall and trying to organize by container. And this is sort of what it ended up looking like. I have a few more here. This is my Makers Want to Make collection. And that one is too. Isn't that cute? So I'm looking at a sewing journal here. Some of those outdoor themes can be summer. So I have a sewing journal, a Victorian journal, a modern journal, and here's some of the pieces that were just in my stash from a book that I had. And this all sort of is reminding me of a Victorian. And this is, we'll see where exactly these fit in, but they're still older Victorian themes. So I felt like I got really organized yesterday, just having a good jumping point off from how I was going to craft. So you guys saw my little bins from last week and this week. I'm feeling like I've managed those pretty well. So I hope that helps you guys if you are sorting through things and trying to decide what to keep in your containers. So I bet you guys are a little bit curious about what I do with all the stuff I don't use. And I have to admit, I do have my Calvin Ball supplies here. That there's a lot of stuff that I can craft through here, and that will fit into my journals. But I'm giving myself the freedom to not have to deal with this until March. But I'm not going to fill this up anymore. So if I feel, I'm thinking on Mondays, I might craft through my stash like I just did there. And then other times of the week, I might grab my stash, stamp on them, and start building up the journals and try to get journals done by the end of the week and then start the process again. So that's sort of how I'm thinking in my process. Which day I'm going to take pictures and load things up onto the computer is not yet determined. But there is a goal there. So anyways, I hope that helps you guys. And another thing that I do, if there's things in here that I find I know I'm not going to use or I'm sick of it, when my best friend has 3 kids and she loves to craft, and I have a box that if I look at something, it's like, I hate this, I don't love it, I hand it to her. And she may go through that process, but she loves to craft junk and make really eclectic journals as well. So it seems to work for us. The things that I don't love, she loves, and we go back and forth that way. So it's always nice to have a crafty friend to de-stash to. And or I am pretty good at, like, if you don't, I love everything. So, but if there's things that you don't love or you know you haven't used for 6 months, it's okay to get rid of it. So I do try to use that process, and I feel like I have historically, which allows me to have just, well, I have 6 iris boxes of scrapbook paper. So that can sound like a lot, but for somebody who's been crafting for 20 years, it's pretty good. So anyways, I hope that helps you guys out. I will show you those iris boxes at my hopefully on my next video. Talk to you later. Hit the like and subscribe button or the rumble button, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.